Hey guys, I don't usually make commentary YouTube videos, but this is gonna be pretty short. So basically, it's not really a political video. I think it's just bizarre how nowadays people are more willing to just completely deny their own humanity to service their political ideologies. It's just a little baffling to me. I don't know. Now, I don't want to sound like a broken record or anything, but I don't think this is normal. From what I've heard, it seems like we're going back a century in a few regards, which is a little concerning. I'm not going to sit here and act like this transcendent bearer of wisdom or anything, but the thing is, it's gotten to a point where a guy, me, who does not really make YouTube videos, who does not make commentary videos, feels the need to at least say something about this. Now, I don't believe many people view this or watch this, but I think it's something I need to say, honestly. I need to make my position on this pretty clear. So sorry if my audio quality is subpar. I'm doing this on voice memos, but aside from that, this really isn't even about politics at this point. You know what? It is about politics, okay? Politics is kind of like a parasite on our society, and it distracts us from actually getting genuine shit done that can help us and benefit us. And a majority of our population is placing a large amount of trust into one man that embodies their ideologies, or at least they believe so, and just putting all their cards into him. And Trump, obviously, and that is a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't seem to want to make peace with Iran anytime soon. All right. There's a 93% chance, no, 98.7, 99.8% chance he's a pedophile. And he's a felon. He hates trans people. He fucking will go against any order, even if it's for something that he supposedly is for, if it opposes his position of power and the general public's view of him. I feel like it's gotten to a point where it just looks so black and white, the sheer evil that's taking place here, that it wrapped back around to going from a sort of rebellion type of thing, and more of a genuine evil, but more genuinely blatant. You know, it used to be about the people, the working class, apparently the ones making up MAGA. However, the facades have dropped, and he's no longer hiding his intentions. The purest form of his intentions, which is to gain power and gain money. And I know I definitely sound like a broken record, because I feel like this is just the ideology of anyone that can understand this at this point in time, but it does feel like progression into a second coming of a Nazi regime. Well, that's an exaggeration. I really don't want it to get to that point, but at this point in time, that's not far-fetched to say, which is the most concerning part, which is why it's more important now than ever to really stand up as a nation and genuinely try to stop this. This goes beyond political opposition. This is about the elites. This is about how they control all of society collectively, and it's about how they encourage infighting under our noses without us even realizing half the time, and just complete obligatory Morgul nations. It's just, for a while I always used to say, oh, I'm not a political person, pussy move. That just means you're afraid of confrontation. I am afraid of confrontation. I don't like confronting people. I do not like engaging with people in general. However, this is... it's gotten to a point, you know, things in life, it gets to a point, just like with everyone's lives, where you can ignore your issues for a long time, but at some point you have to smell the roses and wake up. And this is that for me, instead of my own life, which that too. However, this is just a general global thing, because our nation heavily influences the rest of the world, and if we keep going down this track, we're gonna be an even bigger laughingstock than we already were, and it's never gonna fucking change. I'm sorry, but we can't just bomb a school of like 60 children and then have a fucking pedophile as our leader. That's just not how things should work. It's not how things should ever work. But it is how things are working currently, and it's disgusting. I don't know if this theory is far-fetched. I don't know if this is a common theory. But I honestly believe they're hiding Jeffrey Epstein in Israel, okay? Think about it. Why are we going to war with Iran right now? They should not be a threat to us, especially at this point in time. Why are we not making peace? Apparently the ceasefire is about to end soon, so why? Why is that? Who's an enemy of Iran? Israel. When did this war start? When the Epstein files started to come out, okay? I mean, this seems like a no-brainer. You probably know where I'm going with this, but I don't understand why not a lot of people are really making this connection enough. They probably have, but, like, there's probably things that could go against it, but, like, we have to keep this into consideration because this is a possibility. This is a definite possibility, okay? Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account was logged into in Tel Aviv like a fucking year ago. Fact check me on that if I'm wrong. I mean, like not very long ago, after he supposedly killed himself, which we all know is, we all know that itself is fishy, okay? But like, hear me out. How far-fetched would it be, after everything that's happened, to say, how far-fetched would it be to say that this motherfucker is hiding in a hole somewhere in Israel? Is that far-fetched to say? Is it? Is it really? Is it far-fetched to say that Netanyahu sat Donald Trump's fucking pink ass down and said, hey, listen, buddy, we're gonna expose your little friend to the whole world, as an extension, exposing the entirety of your government for covering this shit up if you do not attack Iran? Why is this like some absurd theory? It shouldn't be. I don't think it is. Now you can say, oh, that's just too easy. You're just a nut job. But this could be a possibility. This literally could be a very definite possibility, okay? I don't know enough about foreign affairs or politics in general to make a clear, concise statement with support behind it here. But this just, I don't know. There's a lot going for this, more than I initially thought when I first thought of this idea, that this man could possibly still be here. It just pisses me off because people like that don't deserve to be alive. People like Jeffrey Epstein don't deserve to be alive. They don't deserve to have any form of power that they had before. It's outrageous. Everyone knows this, but I feel like nobody is really keeping this shit alive, because this says a lot about our country altogether, and I feel like the outrage is dying down a little too quickly, okay? The Epstein files is a mirror of our entire government, and the people who are in power that run things again, I do not want to sound like a broken record, but fuck, this is my first commentary video, okay? I think commentary videos are stupid in general, even though I do like listening to plenty. And this commentary video that I'm making myself is probably horrendous. And it's probably going to turn out horrendous, but I'm kind of just throwing shit to the wall and seeing what sticks here. But the thing is, the bottom line is, we need to be more skeptical, okay? No, sorry, fuck it. That's not what I meant. We're already all skeptical. Even MAGA is skeptical at this point. What I meant to say was we need to be more aggressive and assertive towards the situation specifically. And I'm not an aggressive or assertive person. However, this warrants it. Our livelihoods are at stake. Rich and poor, okay? Mostly poor, obviously, but the population as a whole, our lives are at stake because of this. I'm not a fucking conspiracy nut either, okay? I don't believe the earth is fucking flat. And, like, I don't believe 9/11 was an inside job, okay? It's clear that the buildings collapsed because of the aftermath of the crashes, okay? Like, that whole thing with Bush and, you know, like, the whole cabal, it's just ridiculous, you know? I mean, at the end of the fucking day. There were terrorists that hijacked planes and fucking destroyed the towers. That's the end of the story, you know? There's not much more to that than that. But when there are things like that add up like this, with a lot of things surrounding Epstein, it's okay to be skeptical. You know, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, okay? I am still skeptical of him, okay? Obviously, the most tame example of anyone on the list, but you gotta be skeptical of everyone involved in that shit, okay? You know, there's no outliers in depravity. They're all depraved to some extent, very likely so, you know? And who knows? Maybe it'll come out somehow. I don't think it will. There will always be detractors, but maybe it'll come out to some extent that Michael Jackson was completely innocent and was genuinely just trying to protect little boys from Epstein at his, you know, resort or whatever the fuck, you know. Who knows? Okay, I don't know. Okay, that's the thing. I love his music. I can't say with my full chest whether he's completely innocent or not, okay? I don't think anyone can, and I don't think anyone can say for certain whether Trump is or not. Whether you politically align with his ideologies or not. Or whether you're just fucking brainwashed to his charms or not. Which, at this point, I fear a majority of people in MAGA are the latter. Anyways, I don't want to make this too long. Yeah. Currently drinking a strawberry lemonade from Wendy's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't do these commentary videos. This is my first commentary video ever, actually. I've never done a commentary video before. I made dumb shit in the past for YouTube. That gets like two views each. That's it, you know. Yeah. But this is more of an experiment. Maybe I'll make another one with more tame subject matter next time, maybe. Maybe actually have a script going on so I don't sound like a fucking stupid fucking chud. I mean, I am one, but, you know, I can LARP. I can LARP as a somewhat competent commentary YouTube channel. You know, I can LARP as that with a script, which I do not have for this video. But I do have gameplay of Resident Evil 3, so the second one's better. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this was a terrible video. I know. And yeah, bye.